So the next thing we're going to talk about is the settings area. So if we come down here, when you log in, go all the way to the bottom, hit settings, and from settings, we're going to be able to see, first of all, our information for our company. So make sure your company name's correct, the email, the phone, the website, your API key, if you ever want to use it, that's here. A lot of these things like the API key, we do that for you, so you don't really have to worry about, but just so you know where everything is, I'm going to kind of walk over it. If you want to create a voicemail so that when someone calls that Twilio number we set up, it doesn't go to your personal phone's voicemail since it is forwarding, so it goes to like a business voicemail. Go ahead and record a voicemail. Use a voice recording app on your phone. Download it to your computer. Hit upload here, save it, and then you'll have a voicemail inbox set up. You can also, if someone calls you and they're not answered, their call isn't answered, you can have an automatic text sent back to them. You can come in here and customize this text however you would like. You're going to want to always make sure duplicate opportunity and merge Facebook contacts by name and mark emails as invalid due to hard bounce or checked. We set this up for you, so you're good to go. But that's where that's located. So this is just kind of your basic business information. We have my staff. This is where you're going to add employees, update information for yourself, whatever you'd like to do. To do that, you just click add employee. You put their information in here. And we'll go ahead and create one just so you can see how this works. And I recommend that you create a password. Do not use this reset password button. It just is not as reliable. I like to create a password, just paste it in here, and then come down here, create your email signature exactly as you have it in whatever email you're using now. So your name, your business name, phone number, email. Make sure you use the phone number for the CRM, not your real number. Links to your social media, whatever you'd like. Then you come down to user permissions. You check all the permissions that you want this team member to have. User roles, they can be an admin or a user. Call and voicemail settings. So how I just showed you to upload a voicemail, if you have a larger team and everyone needs their own Twilio number and their own voicemail, they would do the same thing here. We would set up a Twilio number, we would assign it to this person, then they would create a voicemail, we would upload the voice file, done. If booking is important to you, they would come in here, they would set their meeting location, whether it's Zoom or to be determined, whatever it is, put that here, time zone, and then their available hours. Calendar configuration, if you choose to integrate Google or Outlook with the CRM, so that way you can use the calendar and everything in there, that would just show up here. So we have our password in here, we have our roles set. We're going to come down here and just hit save. And it actually need to put a password in here. And they do have some, like, you have to have a certain number of whatever kind of things for the password. So just make sure, it'll tell you if you don't. This looks like it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. If anyone ever forgets their password or you need to reset it, don't use the reset button. Just come in here, create a new password, paste it in, and save. So now I have a user in here. You guys should be able to see at least yourselves in the account if you sent over the information for at least one person. That is how you're going to log in and everything. So there will be at least one person in here. Come down to pipelines, which we talked about. This is where you can edit them. You can add as many as you want. You can edit the current one. If you click add stage, you can make a new stage name. You can reorder the stages. So I know some people like using the pipeline, like creating one for leads and then creating one for the work process, so you have a table build and they've made their deposit and you have a whole pipeline that is just there to be like, put the legs on, cut the wood, whatever the steps are, and it moves it along for them. So that's an option. We can set up an integration like that for you, whether it's the process of
creating a table or selling a slab or, booking sawmill services. I know we also have a client who on his website, we integrated the CRM so that if someone goes to his website and they click on sawmill services, they have the option to book a time for the sawmill service. They can do that right here. It comes into the CRM. He gets a notification and it's put on his calendar automatically. He doesn't have to do anything but show up. So it's pretty cool. So if we come down here, like I was just saying, calendars. Once you've integrated Google, you'll see your calendar here, or you click this plus sign and you can create a new calendar. We have phone numbers that we've already talked about as well. So this is where you would add a new one. Do keep in mind that texts and calls are, I think it's like 1/4 cent per call. I haven't had anyone go over $10 yet. So it's really hard to rack it up. But if you add 20 numbers in here and you have that much going on, it is going to automatically charge your account. So when it just kind of keeps a credit in there. Most people, we do have a $10 credit that the accounts come up with. I haven't seen anyone go over it yet. But you'll get a notification if you need to, add another $10 or whatever you need to do. Probably won't have to for quite a long time. Reputation management. This is where you can handle your reviews. Once you've integrated Google, you can put the link in here and you can send it to people so they'll be taken to your Google business listing where they can leave a review. I like to put this on follow a custom schedule. If you say send review request immediately once, anytime you come in and hit check-in, which is kind of confusing. I actually think they removed it and we need to get rid of this whole button. So I'm just going to make it simple and say use the custom schedule. You come in here, you can add an image, your logo, whatever you'd like. Click this button to turn it on. And then you can customize your review that you're sending your person. And you can send at a custom schedule or any other if you'd like to. But the other thing that's kind of cool is until they open your message, you can have this repeat. You can do custom every 3 days, a week. That way, some people, they don't leave a review on the first request, but they might on the second, or they might be annoyed. But this way, it gives them a chance. If you come down a little further, you can customize the actual email. And you can do the same thing, all the same settings here. If I were to hit send review request, I can pull up any customer and put in their phone number would pull up. Let's see. And send a review invite. So I'm going to go ahead and send that. Oh, since I added myself, but it would send them an invite if you did it that way. That's one way you can send a review. You can also send a review from the conversation tab, which is where you probably will more often, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So the next thing we have is SMTP and Mailgun services. Now this is important because it is going to allow your email to not all go to spam. It's very, very important that we get your domain connected, because if you send email from, let's say, Jessica at wood.com, but in here I had the domain for mail set up as acresoftimber.com, email servers will look and go, why is wood.com sending an email from acresoftimber.com, and they will flag it as spam. So what we do is we go into your domain and we set up MX records. And we connect them with Mailgun, which works a lot like Twilio, lets things run through it so that they work. And then this will become whatever your domain is. If you don't have a domain, I recommend just going to GoDaddy and buying one for a few reasons. One, you don't want anyone else to take it. Two, they are like $5, I think. I think it costs $12 for a domain for the entire year. And you don't even have to be ready to build a website or anything. Just set it up. And then you have your domain, and it's also very easy to set up your custom email. So it can be, Jessica at wood.com instead of wood@gmail.com. You can do all that through there too. But anyway, so set up a domain through GoDaddy if you don't have one. We connect it for you, and then this is going to say mail dot and whatever your domain is. Then we come in here and we make sure the forwarding address, we put in your email just to make sure that you're always getting a copy of whatever comes through the CRM. So this is where you'll get a copy for that, and then we'll hit save. Now you can also change this to, if you have a larger team and you want emails to be forwarded to the person the task or the client is assigned to, click this and they'll just go to whoever is assigned, and I'll show you how to assign people in a moment. So we have our basic overview here of all this. The last thing I'm going to go over is integrations. Integrations, this is where you're going to come in and you're going to connect your Facebook. By clicking connect, it's going to take you to your Facebook page to sign in. This is how you receive DMs and Facebook messages, Instagram DMs and Facebook messages to the CRM. If you sign in with Google, this is how you're able to track ads. You can see reports. You can also have this is how you get your reviews to your Google business listing. And this is how you're able to bring in your Google Calendar. If you have QuickBooks, go ahead and connect it. It basically allows you to populate invoices and send them. I don't have anyone that's ever used Clio. I'm not exactly sure what that does, actually. Same thing with Shopify. If you have a Shopify store, you can track everything within the CRM. The last thing you're going to want to do if you are planning on accepting any payments, if you want to send invoices from the CRM, if you want to do anything at all that involves the purchase or sale of a product, the final financial part of it, you're going to want to create a Stripe account and connect it. It is not as scary as it sounds. You just go to stripe.com and you set up an account. And basically all you're going to do is take whatever bank you're using for your business, you're going to put the account and routing number in Stripe, and then Stripe is going to be the middleman from the CRM for all your purchases. And you really won't have to touch it much. It'll be set up. If you have e-commerce and you have a lot of products, we can add them to Stripe and you can use them in funnels and websites and other things, but that's a little deeper diving in. So this is all, I would just say come in. Like I said, first thing you're going to do, add your contacts, then add them to your pipeline, then come to integrations, connect your Facebook and Instagram. If you want, connect Google. And those are the first 4 things you really should do before you get started. And then kind of just, look through everything and kind of just get a vibe where everything is. I'll tell you what, you don't need to really stress about any of this stuff. It's nothing you're going to use for the most part. It's more for the developers and people helping you set up the account. They're just the things that make everything work well. But that's where everything is in settings. If I hit go back, I'm going to be taken to the pages or the page that you're mostly going to use. And you'll see here we can manage our reputation. You can pull up reports. You can build a website or a funnel. You can set up automations. You can manage your marketing. And this is like email campaigns, forms, surveys, things like that. You can accept payments and set up payments. And if I click on payments here, what this is going to do is pull in all the Stripe products you have. So if you sell individual products, if you have charcuterie boards that are always in stock and you're always selling, you would add that charcuterie board to Stripe. You would add an amount. It would show up in here and you'd be able to sell it directly through here. If you come into opportunities, we already talked about this, but this is your pipeline. We have contacts, calendars, and then, of course, conversations. So in conversations, this is basically a texting interface. It looks just like any on your phone. It looks just like you're texting from your phone, and this is how you text back and forth with clients. If you come to opportunities, you're going to see, I'm going to go ahead and show you actually what happens to get a lead into the pipeline if you are not entering them manually. And I'm going to show you that by going to marketing. I'm going to go to sites. And there's this form here, and we've already set one up for you. But this is how you get to it. Go to forms. Go to builder. If you have a website, we will add this link here for the contact form. There's only one, but we'll add this link to the contact form on your website. And I'm going to show you how that looks. If you do not have a website and you would like a landing page set up, we can do that and it will look similar to this. So if you do not have a website, we can set up a very basic, simple page here. It looks like a website and it has some reviews on it, images, and just a little blurb about who you are. You can use this site as a temporary website. You can use it to run Facebook ads to it. You can use it for Google ads. You can use it for, you can put it in your Instagram bio, your Facebook profile bio as your website link. You can use it in the place of a website if you're not ready or at the point where you're going to do a website yet. So we can build this. So this, if you don't have a website, you're still good to go with the CRM, because what we do is come in here and that form you just saw here, I'm going to integrate form, and I'm either going to copy the link or I'm going to copy the embed code. If I copy the link, I could send it directly to someone like this, or I could send someone to that landing page link or to my website, obviously, and they would come here, and we've put that link, your specific link, into your contact us button. So whether it's on your website, you're just using the link, or you're on a landing page, it pops up. So we have this form. If we embed the form, it looks like this, where it's actually in the site, not in a button. So that's how that looks. Now we're going to pretend we're using the form I just pulled up, but that's for a different client, so we're going to use this one. And we're going to come back to this in just a second, because I'm going to show you something pretty cool about how this all works together. So if I go here to automation, we all have this set up for you already, specific to your business and your email. So I always recommend pull that form up and submit it and see what happens. See what the customer side of things is going to look like. See what it looks like for you. You're going to see what kind of notifications you get, and you're going to see what your customer is going to get. And I'm going to run through this here. If I go to contact forms submitted through the website, again, you don't need to touch any of this. We have set this up for you. It is just to show you where everything is and to kind of give you an overview. So if I come here and I click on workflows, what we've done is we've set up a trigger. So when someone submits your form, they're going to get an email. And the email they're going to get is going to be from your business, and it's going to say, whatever your business is. So we're going to put in my email for now. And it's going to say, thanks for contacting us. It's going to, say thank you for contacting us. We have your Facebook your Instagram, Facebook handle we put in here. Obviously, since this is a demo, it's not filled out with the links, but that's what it looks like. So your client's going to get that. Then if I come in, we have create opportunity. So the next thing that happens, they submit that form, they're automatically put into your pipeline as a new lead. And then we have an email sent to you. And you can send this email to an assigned user. You could do it to a custom email. You can do it wherever you want. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to send this email to my other email address. You have a new lead in your pipeline. And when some new lead has submitted, their opportunity's been created, they've been notified. Now you're going to get a text and you're going to get an email. And they're going to say the same thing. You have a new lead in your pipeline. Please follow up with them. It'll have all the information from the form, the services they're interested in, their email number, and the message they're leaving. And then, then they'll have just all the information at a glance, but you don't really need to act on it yet. And I'm going to show you why. So if I come in here and I fill out this form, let's say you've sent someone to your website, a Facebook ad has brought them to your site, you've sent them this link, however you want to do it. They're going to fill out the form, and this drop down will be specific to whatever services you offer. Sometimes if we have furniture designers, we'll add in like, what is your budget? What type of materials would you like to use? We can customize this form however you would like. So if you want to know everything before you ever even talk to the customer, we can ask it here. If you want to keep it super casual,